runs in his last 14 ball games. Fouls it off. 1-2 count on Wynn. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors for St. Louis. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Braves. Wynn was 0 for 4 in last night's ball game.
I don't get it. I don't think I'll ever get it when it comes to our home team, ATL Braves. Best record in MLB, guys. Let's hope it stays that way. We're going to get the home field advantage in the playoffs, all the way through the World Series. When we make it that far, You got to stay confident about that. You do. You can't always judge them based off what they do, how they perform against unperforming teams. Losing teams. That's one thing I'll never crack the code of when it comes to the Atlanta Braves. I don't understand it, though. It makes me nervous when we go against teams that have losing records. The teams that don't perform that well in the league. It seems like the Atlanta Braves have more trouble against teams like that. They lost against the Cardinals last night, first game of the series, after taking 3 out of 4 against the Dodgers. Every time I tune in, when they're playing a sorry, let's not say a sorry team. It is the MLB. It is the MLB, so no one is really sorry. It's just, things happen. It's the chemistry of each team that matters, makes things work. All that jazz, But that's one thing that worries me about the way they perform against losing teams, though, on how they can't pull it out. I don't even want to look back at all the series that the Braves played against losing teams and found out that they lost this year. I'd say more than half the losses that the team has gathered in their stash. I'm going to say half their losses have come against losing teams. But I hadn't even really looked. I don't want to look. Because that's what worries me, when it comes to the playoffs coming up. You know what's going to happen. They're going to have the best record in MLB, and they're going to go against, let's say, a team that barely even scratched into the wild card game or whatever, with a 500 record. You know what I mean? We got to pull it out every single time. And when it comes to these playoffs coming up, when we go against a wild card team that is probably 3 games over 500 when they end the season, winning that one last little tiny wild card spot, and they'll go up against the Braves, That's what scares me most. One single game can end it all. We definitely got to make it out of the divisional series this year. No more losing in the divisional series anymore. Best out of 5. Got to make it work. Man. Got to figure something out when it comes to the losing teams, though.
Goldschmidt 2 for 4 in last night's ball game. 1-0 pitch, big wave and a miss. Showed him the slider right there.
Guys, there's treasure to be found every day. I thought I saw something. When the guys came in to look at my pipes to see if something was leaking back here behind the washer and the dryer, they had to move some stuff around. Thank the Lord we didn't see any kind of wet spots. But I think I saw something, or I noticed something, when I was looking back here. A different kind of treasure. I totally forgot about this thing. There it is right there. How am I going to get my big old arms through this thing? All the way down there. I got it. I'm going to go outside and get the grippers that I used to pick up the garbage. It's one of my missing socks. nothing like finding treasure. I wonder where the other ones are. Oh, that face came off. Hey, get a load of this. Look at this real quick. Hold on. Let me get my big butt back here. You already know what I'm doing. The dryer's pulled out. They had to turn off my water so they can fix the supply line to the washer. There's a joint down just above the neighbor's place, just down here into the wall, and they had to fix it, so they had to turn off my water supply, you know, to break out the torch, that kind of stuff. But get a load of this. I haven't moved these things out since I moved them in, and I'm just, you know, overwhelmed with the amount of dust and dust bunnies. I guess that's what these guys mean. Dust bunnies. Yeah, but I was in process of vacuuming, and all I did was just shake the dryer thing. You know, the dryer chute, whatever you call that thing. The vent hose. And I noticed this. Look at all this sand and dirt. You talk about a pile. I mean, look at, is there any treasure in that? There's a bead. Yeah, but look at this pile. I guess some of the time when I wash out the socks, they don't get totally clean, you know? I don't get all the sand out. I don't get all the dirt out. But I bet you, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that more than half of this doesn't come from the socks. The fine grain sand, that comes most likely from the socks. But the heavy grit stuff, the bigger pieces, I guarantee you that they come from this. The cuffs of the pants. Because there's a pair of pants that I have that still have sand in it, all the way in the bottom, that I can't get out. So I bet that's where half that stuff right there comes from. From the bottom of the pants. I think what happens is that when I put stuff in the pockets, artifacts, whatever it is that I come across, a lot of dirt just trickles down. It gets filtered through the pockets. Especially if they got holes. You know, there's a couple that the artifacts were so sharp that they just tore holes in the bottom of the pockets. Not big holes, but, you know, microscopic holes, whatever. And the sand's been getting down here in the bottom. Yeah, man, I don't even want to know what was in the washer. Stuck in the bottom down here, guys. Imagine that. You're going to say, you need to take a look. Just like I had to take a look at this. Let's hope the vacuum can handle this. That's quite the pile. What the heck is going on out here? Hold up. who it is, too. They've been doing it for like 3 days. They're more loud than a tailpipe up there at Road Atlanta. Don't you worry. I ain't gonna tell nobody. It's your house, not mine.